Hello YouTube, you got me, VGH here once again, and I have in my hands the demo deck for the Palworld TCG. I was lucky enough to snag myself one of these off of an eBay auction I found online, so I wanted to do a box opening with a deck preview, an opening with you guys, so you guys can see the new cards right away. I'm very, very excited to look into these cards. Obviously, they are the demo cards, so quick reminder that every single one of the cards that are going to be in this list, or in this deck specifically, have a % chance to be changed when the actual TCG comes out in 4 months. But it's really, really cool to have one of these guys because it is the demo deck that it's only going to be obtainable during the demo events that are going on all the way up until the release on July 30th for the Palworld TCG. Let's bust this bad boy open and see what we got. Hello, future VGH here. I may have accidentally knocked the microphone off while doing the cutover from the original opening and the opening of the video. So you're gonna have to bear with me here because I did want to do the first look. Now, about halfway through this, I do notice that I screwed up, so I do apologize for that. But for now, let's go over the cards once again and such while we open the actual video, the actual box itself. Now, of course, I was trying to open up this box on video because, again, I did get this off of an eBay auction, and what you should absolutely do when it comes to eBay items, especially cards themselves, is to always record opening them. That's just a little bit of a thing for you guys trying to play this game in the future. If you guys want to buy cards online, or if you already have bought cards online, always open these things whilst on a recording, because you do not want to have an issue where you open it and it's not the item you receive, and then you're trying to argue that, hey, I didn't get my item, and then it's like, okay, do you have any evidence of actually not getting the correct item? Because you can just say, like, but I didn't get it, and that's just usually not enough. If you have actual recorded proof that you open up the item on camera, then obviously if something was incorrect, then you'd be able to fix it. So as you guys see, I did open the box on camera, and this was the proper item. And we do show off, first things first, the actual cards. We did see the Kativa card. It is the first card you see. This is what you actually see when you order the item itself. Is what I was bringing up, that you actually see the Kativa card, and I do go over some of the stats and such of the Kativa. I tried to get it to focus. It was not being friendly with the focusing. I do have the cards next to me to actually remind myself what every card did. We do get that bad boy open. I was checking out the cards to make sure everything seemed like it was correct, and we did open up the Palworld official trading card game base book to go over exactly what everything does. And so we did get a little bit more of information about the flow of the game, which is what we're going over here. The flow of a game has a few phases. As the game goes on, it is a little bit harder to just differentiate what we have here. I do wish we had some sort of a informational video on how to actually play the game. Based upon what this has, it says there's a stand phase, which I believe at every single beginning of the turn, all of your rested cards, whether it be souls or pals, get stand, which brings them back up. The draw phase, which is skipped for the first turn of the player going first. There are a bunch of games that do that. The soul phase, which I assume is drawing one soul and putting it into your soul pool, and then going into the main phase, where it states there's a lot of different actions you could take, like deploying a pal from your hand to your base, deploying a structure from your hand to your base, deploying gear from your hand to your base, using an event card from your hand, battle using a pal in your base, or resting 3 souls to draw 1 card from the top of your deck, or use an act ability of cards in your base, and then ending your phase. We do actually end up opening it to show off where everything gets to go. Underneath where everything was the flow of the game, you have the soul deck, you have the base and the soul area underneath the base, so that way you can at least, have a good dominion as to where everything needs to go. It does have a life counter, which I do point out, but it has 10 life, and then it has a one of the spheres, like the card itself, on the top above the 10. I'm not sure if we're supposed to start at like 11, or I am assuming 10, and that's just like a placeholder to make it not look uneven. We have the deck space and the graveyard itself, and I do show off here that check out our official website for more information, which I have not yet done. And obviously, if there is more information that we don't have yet from just this video alone, you'll see another video coming up very, very soon with that information from, hopefully, the information we get from how to play the game. As long as it's not different from what we already have. We do get to start going over some of the cards. The first one being the Kativa, which is a 2-cost, a neutral card. It is a normal PAL with crafting, harvesting, collecting, and transporting. It has an auto Sirius 400. Don't know why it says Sirius 400. It has on a sign, choose a PAL, and it gets 400 attack until the end of the turn. So when you play it down, I believe it does give the ability to target any one of your other PAL, any PAL, including itself. It does not say it cannot target itself. So I believe when you play it, it is a 2-cost 600 with 1 strike. A quick reminder of strike is that it basically allows you to attack your opponent directly. When you hit your opponent directly for strike, it does strike damage for their life. And then they will flip the top card of their deck to reveal potential options that have things like luck or counters that I assume are going to be in the game. I did show off when I brought it up really close that it does say not for sale. Every single one of these cards are printed in the corner with the not for sale option, making them very unique to the demo deck themselves. So you know that there are separate to the actual ones that are played in the actual game. And the next card is the basic card that everyone did get to see during the first actual release commercial, Lamb Ball. Another 2-cost neutral PAL with crafting, transporting, and farming. It has 300 power and 1 strike. Nothing quite crazy, but it is just a neutral PAL meant to start the game, so it's nothing terrible, but it can also still be deployed into your different locations, so events and such, so it may still have use mid or late game, but it is a good starting PAL. Again, another 4 count that we run in this deck. Following that one, we do have our Chicopee, another one of the basic starter pals of the game, another 2-cost neutral. Normal PAL with harvesting and farming, 300 power, 1 strike. Very, very similar to our friend Lamb Ball, just with different abilities, so it can go on different locations. Our next card that we got to go see, which is one of my little favorites over there, Pangolin. I do try and zoom in here because I liked the Pangolin that was in the background a lot more than the Pangolin in the foreground. Just something that I noticed was really funny. This one does have a special, unique tool that says Quick under the 3-cost that it is. It is a blue 3-cost. It is a water and ice type Pangolin. That is a normal PAL with harvesting, crafting, cooling, and transporting. Now, this one is a little confusing with the way that it reads, but it says Act, Interrupt, Hand, Quick. So I'm assuming it's cards that affect the hand. Discard this card, or discard this card and 1 other card from hand to nullify the opponent's attack, but battle damage does not occur. Now, I'm sure there are going to be cards that have effects that if you discard this PAL or tool, XYZ happens, which makes sense that Pangolin has the ability to discard a secondary card. As of this deck, there is nothing that makes sense as to why you need to discard another card from your hand, so all you would really do is just discard Pangolin, so that way you can stop the attack from one of your opponent's PALs, so that way you can survive a swing, let's say. Next is what I was hoping to get. This is the Sleepy Foxparks. We saw 2 Foxparks on the TCG pages that we saw, and I was hoping to get the sleeping one a lot more than I was hoping to get the woken one that was just walking around. This is the 4-cost normal PAL with just kindling, but it's got 700 attack and 2 strike. 700 considerably stronger from what we were seeing. Granted, everything else was 2 or 300. And finally, we actually have another 4-cost. We have a 5-cost as our next PAL, Chillit. This one is a unique type that has a Lucky Pal with Cooling Harvesting. It's an Ice and Dragon type. The 5 cost, giving us 800 power and 2 strike, but its ability is auto on deploy, draw 2. So we have a 5 cost, 800 attack power Chillet with the ability of Pot of Greed, draw 2 cards. Pretty useful. So the way that Lucky works is that when you get strike damage, you have to reveal the top cards of your deck, I believe. And then when you take that damage, if you hit one of these lucky cards, like Chillet or another card in here that I believe was Jormuntide Ignis, which we talk about a little later, it does stop the damage overall, so you no longer take any further strike damage from that. So you do have some triggers that actually end up going off if you get lucky, which is why you should have some Lucky Pals in the deck, which is why we run 4 Chillet. This is just me going over the whole lucky thing, so I do apologize. We do get to go to our next pal, which is Grisbolt. The red, by the way, it's just put in red, even though it's an electric type pal. 6 drop, that's a normal pal with electricity, crafting, collecting, and transporting. 1,000 power and 2 strike. This is when we start getting beefy. You know, Chillet, 5 costs 800 is one thing, but 6 costs 1,000. When we hit that 1,000 marker, it's pretty good. It has no effect, but it does have plenty of things it can go into. But 6 costs 1,000 is just really good, especially for a demo deck where you can just go 6 big damage and you just kind of are learning how to play the game. So big hit, very good play. I think this is where I begin to realize that my microphone was cutting. And I also did notice that on all of the neutral pals that have no abilities, there are just 2 dashes. It's very strange, but it just has 2 dashes in the middle of the display box. I don't know if it was supposed to do that or not, but it just kind of does. It just has 2 dashes. I don't know if they were supposed to be like, maybe there's a missing text or something, or they were gonna, like, all the cards have that for text to be put in, and then they were printed and nobody removed them from the neutral cards, but every card that has no ability just has that. Alright, so I did just find out that I was not recording sound for the first part of that. I will be adding vocals over the beginning half of that for myself for future VGH to deal with. I will continue because this is still a blind opening and I don't have any recording for the vocals, even though my microphone is on and everything should be working. It just didn't like me very much. So I'm only a little bit mad by that, but whatever. Apologies. I was very interested, and I was pointing out right there that the neutral cards that have no abilities just have 2 little dashes on them in the the description pool there. Grisbolt also being red for some unknown reason here, even though it's an electric type pal, so it's not yellow, it just is under the red pool. Grisbolt being a 1,000 power, 2 strike, normal, electricity, crafting, collecting, and transporting type. Another 4 count of the deck. We got Relaxosaurus being a 7 cost of the deck. Jesus Christ. 7 cost blue that says normal power with harvesting, transporting, a water dragon. It says auto, on deploy, choose up to 1 pal and rest it. 1,100 power with 3 strike. Oop. Look at that little guy. I've never quite liked Relaxosaurus, but apparently he might be very strong in the upcoming game, considering he can forcibly stop your opponent from being able to block with it. We did get another 4-drop. 4-drop of this guy. We got Jormuntide Ignis. Jormuntide Ignis being a fire dragon in the red pool. It also has the lucky symbol, just like Chillet did. Lucky Pal with just kindling. It says act. Turn 1. Discard 1 card from hand to stand this card. So the paper, the thing that said stand pals and then draw a phase and then do all your stuff, it said, and one of them did say act. So I'm wondering if you can discard 1 before your battle, or if you can like battle and then use a discard, restand it, and then attack again. Ooh, we got some knowledge questions. I was saying this before. I don't know if I'm gonna say this. If I'm gonna just reiterate this one. This is a 1,300 with 4 strike. But I figure what I think it is when you strike your opponent, right? and you tap your opponent to do damage since they have 10 life pool. This would do 4, but I believe that you're supposed to draw off the top of your deck and keep flipping cards to reveal the top, because if you get a luck chance, it stops the strike altogether. So I believe those cards either go back into your hand or into the discard pile. I'm not entirely sure as of yet. We still haven't had a lot of knowledge to the game. I wish I could have been able to play it actually, but from what we have, I believe that's how it's supposed to work. Ooh, okay, so that was the pals. Now we're getting to some of the sideways cards. The locations, what's it called? Actually, I have the structure cards. Actually, the other thing. So this is the first one, the red 1-cost primitive furnace structure for kindling. It says CONT, I don't know if that means continued, or count. Reduce the cost of gears in your hand by 2. Does not become 0 or less, so you can only have it as a 1 cost in your hand. Act turn 1 to assign 1 pal to draw 1 card. So this card is just a hand retrieval, so you can actually have this guy, and if you have, say, Fox Parks, Dormantide Ignis, any of them that have kindling, you can place them in this to turn this and then draw 1 card. So you do have an early game like setup. For those who know a lot of card games, hand power is one of the most powerful things in most card games, so having the ability to just keep redrawing is pretty solid. 4 count of those. Another one. Oh, this is also from the like the different things you can find online so far. Mounted machine gun. Please just can do our best to act. Catch it. No. I'll read. Act turn 1, assign 1 pal to choose up to 2 pals and deal 700 damage. Its durability is 800. It's a 4 cost. That's amazing because now you have a 4 cost 800 that makes your weaker pals actually be able to do something. So you can actually put Lamball in here, and then you can assign the 1 pal, which is Lamball, who's really, really weak, but it says choose up to 2 pals and deal 700 damage. So you can actually make your weaker pals still do something mid to late game rather than just being a startup game pal to do some damage early game. Oh, you only get 2 of these. This is the first one we actually only get 2 of. The single shot rifle is our next card, another card that we got to see during the early setups. We didn't actually see what it did, it just had what it looked like. This is a gear, so if you have the other primitive furnace, you can make this gear card. Instead of cost 4, it would cost 2. It says single shot rifle, auto on deploy, choose up to 1 pal and deal 1,000 damage. Jesus. You can, with the primitive furnace, you can just go 2 cost 1,000? Yeah, that's fair. just bang, 1 shot. It says rest this card to choose 1 pal, and it gets plus 200 until the end of the turn as an act. So on deploy, when you play it, it's just bang, and then equip, and then you can just add an extra 200. How many of these do we get? We got 4 of those. Ooh, this is a new card. Hello. What do you? This is the pump action shotgun. 4 cost, another gear. Pump action shotgun says auto on deploy, choose all of your opponent's pals and deal 800 damage. Wow, that's just significantly better than single shot rifle. And then it says act, rest this card, choose 1 pal and it gains plus 200 until the end of the turn. That's crazy. Oh, only 2. I get 2. We did see this card during our what's it called? We saw this card during the setup. This is the the reckless charge card. 1 cost quick, and for some reason that's a circle. Everything else has been a diamond up to this point, except for this. This one's a circle. This one is a event card that says choose a pal and it gains plus 300 until the end of the turn. Very simple 1 cost event. Oop, and now we got our soul cards. We should have just gotten 10 of these. Ooh, souls. So I assume that similar to, say, other card games, they usually have, in Pokemon it's energies, and in One Piece it's dawn, and in Magic Gathering's land. A lot of them have a separate deck, or decks that are, shuffled in. That's Magic the Gathering, really. But if they have a separate deck, they have basic common cards like these soul cards. They're all going to be commons for now, but I'm sure when the game actually comes out, there will be different types of souls, which says during your turn, you can rest 3 souls during your main phase to draw 1 card. It says that on every single one of these cards, so That's good. At least the card actually says it, because realistically, if it didn't say it, unless you knew the rules of the game, you really wouldn't know specifically that soul ability. But I'm sure there are going to be holographics of these, different colors of these, because these are just large Pal Souls, but they could have probably different colors, different holographics, potentially different alternate arts with it. With this, if you actually were able to go to the event, there was a special edition soul card you got, which just has a gold-plated Palworld on the front of it, the logo on the front, instead of the actual soul picture. They have just Palworld across the front. The only reason why we don't have that is because people are trying to run it for $200, which is how much I bought the entire deck for. So, I do hope that I was able to show off at least a little bit of these cards, and hopefully people enjoy seeing this a little early. I know that I'm very excited for the actual playing of the game. I do wish I could have gotten a second one of these to actually like play it with my wife, to actually like feel how the card game actually played. And I do want to create a how-to video on how to actually play the game a little bit more in depth. I will be adding sleeves on these guys, dude. Do not worry, I will put them all back. I will not leave these out as they are, because boy howdy is it really cool to have a piece of the Palworld TCG history, because these cards are very unique. They actually have the not for sale sticker in the corner of every single one of these cards, including the soul cards. They all have those. So I'm very excited to actually own this. If anyone has any questions on maybe the how the card feels, how the card looks, I can take individual pictures if you guys are curious about it. Head on over to my Discord. You guys can see it in the content, the little content section below, I guess you can say. And I do hope you guys enjoy the video and enjoy your first look at the Palworld TCG cards, or at least the demo look, because again, these might be changed.